What's up, Nitwit Nation? Dom and Joe here with another Hogwarts Legacy update. Guys, we just had a content creator 2-hour premiere of Hogwarts Legacy. Something that was very interesting, awesome to see, and we got a lot more gameplay. We're looking forward to talking about this with you. And Joe, let's break it down. What are you most excited about?
Well, I think the question should be is how excited I am.
Oh, how excited? I'm sorry.
And let me tell you, I have bought some butterbeer, a pack of butterbeer gummies, a chocolate frog, and some jelly beans. I have a whole PJ set, I'm specifically saving for the 2 weeks that I won't be working to play this game. And I'm going to reiterate, you heard me right. I'll be off for 2 weeks to play this game. So I am super excited. Finding some of these things online, it was very difficult. But the butterbeer, it's going to be great. It's going to be great. I'm geeked. I'm geeked. Let me sum it up with one word. But one of the things I think we can both agree on that we're both super excited for, and I'm just going to jump right into it, is the world. The atmosphere, how alive the world is truly going to be. And the first thing I want to do is, once you load into that game, you create your character and that amazing customization tool, and you're getting in that world, you're walking around. I just want to explore Hogwarts Castle. I want to see how much of a replica it is to the movies, to the books, and compare the two.
I'm curious how large it will feel. Are you going to be getting completely lost? Are you going to get to know? I know a couple streamers had talked and said, once you walk around enough, you get to know kind of where you're at, your bearings a little bit. But I'm curious how large the castle's actually going to be. I think that'll be something really cool to see because it's beautiful. Everything we've seen so far with this game, especially the actual castle, has been amazing. Really knocked it out of the park on that.
Yeah, I totally agree. And one thing to keep in mind is Hogwarts is massive, right? So,
yep.
And they kept it massive. They kept it so massive, there's fast travel inside Hogwarts, okay? So that should give you an idea of how large Hogwarts is going to be alone. Mm-hmm. That's not including the surroundings, the Dark Forest. Then you have Hogsmeade. Then you have all these other little settlements around the world. Now, one thing I have heard, this is not the biggest game ever made in terms of size, but they didn't want to do that. They wanted to ensure that the world felt like it was alive, and with what they had, there was a lot of activities going on. So I think that leads into, I think, the second thing we're most excited for, Dom, and that is
the environment, just in general. How alive is everything going to be? We've seen from gameplay, we were big doubters in this lead up to this, but it was great to see just the interactive, everything moving around you while you explored. I mean, yet again, it did not look any downgraded in the background. No graphics looked worse away. Like, it was beautiful. It looked great. And I was really shocked at how much was really around you.
Yeah, I totally agree. The world did look lived in. And I think that's the best way of putting it. And a world that's lived in, especially to this scope, is going to make the player feel like they're alive too, right? So I'm super excited for that. And I can't wait to explore for the first time. Again, I'm going to mention one disappointment is the fact you can't swim underwater.
Well, in general, I don't understand why even put the swim mechanic in it to some degree. I guess I get it, but there are people really excited for it, and I do not understand why. I don't know. I better be able to swim out somewhere and get some cool treasure.
Yeah, my thing is with the Black Lake being in the game, it being such an iconic location, and just Harry Potter in general. It's really cool that it's there. Don't get me wrong, but the fact that you can't swim underneath the water and interact with sirens and so forth kind of sucks. I see why
maybe they'll surprise us, but
I see why it's there to some extent too, right? Because Azkaban is surrounded by water, and they're in according to the the devs, you're going to be visiting Azkaban on a mission. So, I mean, I get it. I still am a little disappointed that you can't actually swim underneath the water. And I understand that some people are saying it's due to technical difficulties or limitations. I find that to be a load of shit, just because again, Horizon Forbidden West graphically is probably one of the best games ever made. One of the most technical games ever made. You can fly in that game, ride big monsters, swim underneath in the ocean. There's coral reefs. I mean, I just think technical limitations is just a way of saying, hey, we just didn't do it because we weren't, I don't want to say skilled enough, but or we're just not there yet. But that's a little disappointing. But I digress.
Another thing I know we're both looking forward to is, in general, the combat.
Yes.
I think the combat looked amazing. It was real interesting. I thought it'd be more of a point and click, nothing real advanced. And it was awesome to see different spells will disarm people or be able to take armor off certain enemies, then you'll be able to actually affect them. It was really cool seeing the little differences in the mechanics of fighting, and everyone talked about how hard it was to get used to.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I feel like you're actually going to have to go and prioritize training, which is cool to say, because some games I feel like it's just like, just go out there and win the world away. But I feel here we're going to be forced to actually be like a real student and study.
Yeah, I'm excited for the combat a lot. I'll just go ahead and add in the Dark Arts Arena, because that's something we're both super excited for. And in the gameplay shown, and specifically the Dark Arts Battle Arena, we got to see the combat at its best. And what I will say is it just got me super, super, super geeked to be able to have up to, I think it's 21 or 24 spells. I can't remember. It's between there. Be able to have those switch between every spell and utilize every spell in combat. That's just awesome. It does look like it's going to be a little bit more complex. And the fact that it's not going to be just click and shoot, and I'm sure you can, right? Use the same spell over and over again. But the fact that you have that those diverse spells and have so much that you can utilize is super, super exciting. And it doesn't seem like it's going to be bland. And I think one additional thing to add to that is the colors, right? It just looks so beautiful when you're casting a spell, and the spells have different colors, and I just think it looks amazing.
Yeah.
I love. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead, man.
I was gonna say, the other thing I really loved about the spell casting was you have to be precise with your blocking. So it was really cool to see when somebody else was countering you. If you didn't block in time, you took damage. And that to me just goes to show that there's going to be some skill behind this. I'm sure it's not going to be the hardest thing of all time. It's not going to be Elden Ring, right? But I do think that there's going to be some complexity to it. And if you're not going to take the time to learn how to play or put the effort into combat, you're going to have a hard time, learning it. But just like any game, I mean, you're going to learn it over time. But I truly am excited to be able to, cast a spell, block, cast, and just dodge or whatnot, whatever you want to call. But it looks amazing.
I think another thing that really blew me away from this event was the mission that we got to see, how you could do it either stealthily or just wands blazing. And I think that was a cool addition, because it really changed the game a lot between watching different people take different approaches and how much stealth actually can be used to sneak around everybody, or you can just go in and be a complete badass. I think that was something really cool to see, because there's a lot of doubt, I think, with major games that are coming, and seeing like you can approach each mission, it makes it feel like it's an actual, RPG, like an actual, like, your choices matter.
Yeah, to some extent, because the devs did say you cannot stealth through every mission. Like,
well, yeah.
And I was kind of disappointed when they said that. I'm not gonna lie, because think about it. Like, you have this massive RPG, this world where if I want to choose to play safe and be stealth, why can't I? I mean, I think about Elder Scrolls, Fallout, and I'm not comparing them, I'm just thinking of other open world games, but they all have that as an option, right? And in this game, it is an option with some missions. I get it, and that is cool to have that kind of diverse palette, right? Where you have that as an option for some of these missions, but I do wish that there was more of it, and I'm sure there is, right? We only seen a little bit. Like, the scope this game is supposed to be, I'm sure we don't know even the half of what we're getting ourselves into.
Oh yeah,
and I think that's the other piece of what we're super excited, right? Is the unknown and what we're going to discover.
Yeah, I mean, it's a whole new world, and obviously we understand. We've read the books, watched movies, watched everything, but it's a whole new story. The characters that we sort of know, maybe a couple that we've read or met in the in the future or current day for us, but it's going to be really interesting to see how everyone plays off each other and learning about these characters and learning about the companions. That's another big one too, because I have my doubts of how important the companion's going to be. And clearly we hung out with Poppy a pretty much most of that showcase.
Yeah, but they did show a really cool mission with Poppy when the dragons were battling in their arena. I thought that was such a cool scene. I really do. Every time I think about it, I'm like, that's just epic. But I didn't mean to interrupt. But I just
no.
I saw that and I was like, oh my gosh, looks phenomenal.
I think that's the amazing thing right now is we don't know enough about this game, but we know just enough. They've done a perfect job with it. And I feel it's been more so within the last couple weeks that we've gotten more and more and more and more info, which is great. Whereas before, like a month ago, I was feeling really scared about this game. Real nervous about how this was going to turn out. And it looks great. Like, I can't just keep saying that enough. Like, mechanically, it looks fun. The flying around looks amazing. And I'm shocked. I'm still disappointed there's no Quidditch. That can be another argument for another day once we actually learn, like, the full reason why, which hopefully we'll learn.
Well, remember, there was gossip going around in one of the actual gameplays where the Headmaster Black canceled Quidditch. Never stated why he canceled it, but he did cancel it. And I'm sure we'll probably figure out why later on. But as of right now, he's the reason why Quidditch is not an option currently at Hogwarts. Not to say it won't be a DLC, but
yeah, I want some underground Quidditch play for DLC.
That would be awesome. What I will say though is I thought it was pretty cool that you could fly out there on a hippogriff or your broom and see the actual stadium, right? And the stadium looks amazing.
Are you gonna fly a hippogriff or are you gonna fly around on the broom?
Yeah, I'm gonna fly on it all. What the hell kind of question is that?
I'm going just hippogriff. I'm gonna fly the big
I'm
boy.
doing it all. You're supposed to. You're not getting the full experience. You gotta do it all. You gotta do it all. I'm doing it all. But it's gonna be amazing. Now the only other thing I have to add, this game right now, when we do our review, the only way it's gonna score a 10 out of 10 is if I can fly a damn dragon. If I cannot fly a dragon, I'm taking off 2 points.
Dang!
Yeah. 2 points. So it will be 8 out of 10.
Just leave me and my Hufflepuff self alone. I'm just gonna go and hang out in the kitchen.
Alright, Crab. That's what you should be in Slytherin.
Probably end up there.
You can't be hey, I'm a Hufflepuff. I'm gonna go sit in the kitchen. Alright, Crab.
Don't want to do here. But no, I think I'm really...
Sorry, we take care of our bodies. Says the guy that gets out of breath walking up the stairs.
Okay. I think something though, like just in general, like I'm really happy with the gameplay. I think there are a lot of positives coming out of this. I think, of course, some of the negatives that most streamers had are things that we said worried us in the past, but it seems like they're patching up everything. There's going to be a day one patch, of course. So, and who knows what version they were playing on? Was this the most up to date? So I'm really curious what we're going to end up with for the final product. It all looks amazing, and I can't wait to dive into the world.
Yeah, I'm really excited, and I think one other thing I want to add here is Peeves, and I can't wait to see him around the world because he's been mentioned in the books, obviously. And in the movies, but we never saw him in the movies. And I can't wait to actually see how he's treating students, and the trickery he plays, and that's exciting. The nearly headless Nick. These little things are going to be so nostalgic for a lot of us, and to see them in this world is going to be super exciting and eye-opening. And I just hope that they have a whole bunch of DLC planned for the future, and that we get to see a lot more. And I hope it blows every expectation away that we want it to.
Still Game of the Year on our candidate list.
Oh, 100%. No, it's still good. I truly believe, all jokes aside, including my dragon joke, if this game delivers upon everything they've promised, we have a gem. We have an Elden Ring. Okay? Yeah. And the reality of it is, if they do that, we're going to have a game that will be talked about for the next 10, 15 years.
Yep.
If they do this right. But if it comes out in a poor state, we're going to have a game that is going to be known for a poor state. That could be great in a year or so. But that being said, I truly have faith in this game. I mean, I want this to be the best game we've ever played. I know you do too. And I am super, super excited for it. Either way, I bought it 3 times, okay? I bought the game fucking 3 times. 3 times. 3 PC, Xbox, and PlayStation. I again, I want them to succeed. I want this to be the best game we've ever played. I truly do. I can't wait to stop the Goblin Rebellion. But if I can join the Goblin Rebellion, I'm joining it. Just so everyone knows.
I'll do both. I'll fight for both sides at once.
Yeah, I'll be a two-timer.
Man, I just want to be Dobby. That's all I want to do.
That would be a fun one.
It'd be something stupid and funny. But anyways, Nitwits, that's just our wrap-up of the 2-hour streamer premiere event thing jabobber that just happened, that gave us a bunch of gameplay that we're really looking forward to. Honestly, man, I'm really blown away by this, especially at this point. I had serious doubts going into this, but I can't wait to do some dark arts, ruin the world and go crazy.
And if you're 21 years of age or older, don't forget to get your butterbeer.
Yep.
And your butterbeer gummies and your chocolate frogs. And if you really want to go crazy, buy those jelly beans that have the nasty flavors.
Every flavor.
I mean, you can get vomit, you can get grass, whatever. Hey, if you're down for it and you're a huge fan, wait, don't forget your PJs. You also have to have some really nice socks. They don't have to be Harry Potter specifically. They could be Death Eater, they can be Hermione Granger, whatever you want. Make sure you're fully decked out in your gear when you're playing the game. It will just make it 10 times more special, believe me. I know.
Joe's doing it.
I am doing it.
But all right, Nitwits, if you made it this far, please like, subscribe, comment, let us know what you're thinking. Let us know what you guys enjoyed or what you hated. Either way, just give us a shout out. We love to respond and just to hear from you in general. So as always,
peace, love, and chicken grease.